Yo, Len, where's my snare? Are you recording? I don't got no snare on my headphones.
What does that mean?
God, am I that old where I'm the only one that can like recite an Eminem song? Like, you know what happened to me earlier today too? I started talking about the magazine. You know the magazine Weird New Jersey? Please tell me you know it.
No.
Please tell me you know it. Man, I'm getting too old.
Well, not 201. Not 201
The
magazine.
Weird New Jersey magazine was like a magazine that had all the weird common myths of New Jersey and things you can explore about like hidden haunted streets, like villages that were like untouched. You never read about this?
No.
It's all real places. If you go sightseeing, search, if you have the time, somebody please search
I was too busy
Weird
doing drafts.
New Jersey. Coming from a weird guy like myself, I'll tell you right now,
Yeah.
you gotta get into it.
Say that again.
Now, listen. Welcome to the Fantasy Weird Guys. I mean, welcome to the
Wise.
Fantasy Wise Guys.
Wow.
I'm your host, Mike Meals, with my host,
Joey Puma.
Mr. Puma.
Try not to be weird.
Trying, listen, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us, do you think we're weird? Which players do you like? Which players don't you like? Follow us on Instagram. Follow Fantasy Wise Guys. We've been posting. How you doing, Puma?
I'm doing great. I mean, we haven't done a show in probably, 5 weeks, 4 weeks?
No, it's been like only like 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, it felt like that. But you know what? We talk a lot all the time, and we definitely have a lot to get to.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of transactions.
I feel like it's been very scarce. Like I'm like digging, scraping the surface to find
Scarce,
any
yes.
any little bit of information that we could use on the show.
Yes, definitely draft season is rolling around. We want to keep the people in tune. That's always a good thing. And I felt like, everybody was away. A lot of, you had mentioned it before, like a lot of podcasters were away. So I felt like it was a good time to sit back, take in a lot of information, but also to get to evaluate and put forth a great comeback episode.
Oh, big time. And honestly now, this is where it gets juicy because we start coming up with draft strategies.
Yes.
Rankings get changed, ADP switches, players go up, players go down.
Will be so important going forward.
So let's talk into some of the news and notes. Speaking of vacations, speaking of players going up and down, our man, Mr. Najee Harris, just suffered an eye injury during his 4th of July vacation.
Oh, in previous episodes, this was like one of my sleepers.
Seriously.
Now, at least like JPP had a finger blown off, but this guy has an eye injury. I mean, first and foremost, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Likewise.
God bless him and his family. But for fantasy, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. And now, for me, I am reaching in the 4th or 5th round for an Amarion Hampton. He was taken in the 1st round. This will be his predecessor going forward.
Yep.
And it's only a matter of time. Now with this news coming out, it seems like the time might be now.
Yeah, big time. And for me, I feel like it definitely changes because I was looking at Najee in the late rounds. I'm like, wow, he is really
Sleeper.
falling. And I felt like with that opportunity with Jim Harbaugh, I felt like he had a lot of potential, especially in the 8th, 9th round. No problem. I'll take Najee Harris. But something like this, when it happens this drastic to an eye nonetheless, where it literally, they say he's half blind, partially blind, this can really put a damper on your ranking. Also, his rep did state that this is a superficial eye injury, whatever the hell that means, and he's fully expected to be ready by the start of the season. But I'll tell you right now, I don't like it either.
I don't like it. Mike, you usually harp on the discipline action and, you want good guys on your team. How about I want some smart guys on my team? You are who you surround yourself with,
Yeah.
and the settings you surround yourself with. So again, I hope he's all right. I hope his, God bless him and his family. But, this could be career ending. I mean, let's face it. It's hard to play in the NFL in general. Now you're asking a half-blind guy to play in the NFL. It is very tough to begin with. I just hope he's okay. But for fantasy, it takes a huge hit. He might not even get drafted in some leagues. He might not even make the team. We know, and especially in professional sports and NFL, money is not guaranteed or whatever they gave him. I don't even think they gave him any guaranteed money. So he could be gone tomorrow and on the street. So who knows? Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. But this is very, very negative news and a downer for sure on his fantasy value.
But Omari at Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton in, baby. It's time to step up.
The next piece of news, I thought this was very, very juicy. As much as people kind of like just laughed it off. But Darren Waller, unretired, and he was traded from the Giants to Miami.
Yeah.
After 1 year off completely.
We have a segment. It's called Do Not Draft, or I Would Not Draft. I think he falls right in there. I mean, listen, Darren Waller, once upon a time, was a great player. He even rapped about it. But at the same token, that was then, this is now. And we saw even with our own Le'Veon Bell going to the Jets, and he took a year off from the NFL. Guys who take a year off, whether they want to say it's a recovery year or they're just healing up, again, it's a year away. The game always just gets faster and younger. And, you might be a 33, 32-year-old man, but in NFL standards, that's an old man. And, I just feel like the game has passed him. But, again, Miami didn't give up much. They gave up a 6th rounder, I believe. So it's a toss-up, but I don't see him being a factor and being any fantasy relevance. Yeah. Now, you want to sell me on the fact maybe a streaming candidate, a bye-week filler? Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now, I can't see him get drafted in any leagues.
And honestly, Darren Waller really only had 2 good years that he's, been praised for the longest time. And this was 6 years ago, in 2019 and 2020, two seasons over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns in total between both years. And since then, he hasn't even broken 670 yards. He's always injured. He's always hurt. I'm staying away. Don't buy the hype on some of these guys because, he ain't the top play. I'll tell you that.
No, not at all. This is a desperation play. And again, like I said, streamer, bye-week filler. Big time.
Now, one that was kind of notable, Jonnu Smith was traded. So he was actually on Miami.
Yeah.
They traded him to Pittsburgh. So they got Darren Waller, got rid of Jonnu Smith, and now the Steelers have Jonnu Smith and Mr. Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, and this is some real relevant news because we saw Aaron Rodgers when he played for the New York Jets. He made Tyler Conklin very relevant, more touchdown dependent than anything, but he was still relevant nonetheless. With the Pittsburgh Steelers getting rid of George Pickens, there is no solidified second option in that offense to DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
I could see Jonnu Smith fill that role, even though you do have the Muth there, Pat Freiermuth. But there is a reason why they got Jonnu Smith. He is more athletic.
Definitely.
And is coming off a big year in Miami. And
he was the tight end 4 last year.
Yeah, so I definitely see him being very relevant and a top 9 round pick.
He's a good player. Definitely, like I said, the fourth guy. He's actually reuniting with Arthur Smith, who he played with 2 years ago in Atlanta, and he had a big year, overshadowed Kyle Pitts. So I would not be surprised if they utilize him the same way over here in Pittsburgh.
No, I totally agree. I think he, especially he's working with an offensive coordinator that he's had throughout his career, Arthur Smith. He had him in Tennessee with Mariota.
And in Tennessee.
He had him in Atlanta before the Kyle Pitts era started when he was the head coach of Atlanta. And now he has him again in Pittsburgh. Good news for Jonnu Smith. I think he's going to be with the better team in Pittsburgh, and he will have some fantasy relevance.
Yeah, he's like a decent tight end if you want to take him late, if you're trying not to, take a tight end.
Well, if you want to wait on tight end. If you want to wait on tight end or quarterback, this pairing, probably a sneaky stack, Aaron Rodgers, Jonnu Smith, very, very cheap. If you want to load up on skill position, wide receiver, running back, I know Mike likes to go wide receiver in the first round. If you want to stack in a PPR league, some great stud wide receivers with some running backs, I mean, what do they call this strategy? 0 tight end and QB? you just now I'm making my own like.
It's like a 0-1Z.
Yeah. Like you get Jonnu in the 9th and Aaron Rodgers in the 15th.
That's when at one point when I started looking at that, I'm like, I'm just gonna stay away.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a useless thing to try to take somebody like that and stack them with another guy that you're not sure of. Two new guys on a brand new team. And believe me, you'll see people that'll do shit like that. Someone is going to start Aaron Rodgers this year on their team. Mark my words.
Absolutely. I mean, you'll have a mini revenge narrative when he plays the Jets week 1, but then also too you have a Justin Fields narrative.
Oh yeah, big time. And I like him, but that's why it's important to know how you feel about these guys and put them on your personal do not draft list. Then make your other list of what guys do you need? What offenses do you need a piece of? Which players must you have? Will you jump out and take ahead of time before anybody else? Like these are crucial things to think about before the draft, because once that clock goes and you got 60 seconds to make a decision, that's it. Whoever you pick there is your guy. So let's talk about some teams we love. I know you mentioned a couple. Who's like your number one team that you got to get a piece of?
Mike, my number one team that I have to get a piece of, and we just spoke about it, is the LA Rams with Sean McVay. I mean, you have Matthew Stafford literally probably in his last year in the NFL, maybe second to last year. I think he's going to have a great year, a guy that you could, wait on. I just told Mike I just took him for MVP odds on FanDuel, and they're great odds. But Puka Nacua, I mean, he can be literally a wide receiver 1. He will be, and a top 5 pick going into this year. If you look at it now with the addition of Devontae Adams, that coverage will slide a little bit, a lot of more one-on-ones with Puka, and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, Matthew Stafford knows Puka more than Devontae. It's kind of like when it was Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford. I'm going to go on the record and say Puka Nacua has a Cooper Kupp 2021.
It's possible. I mean, he looked great last year. He came back from injury and was absolutely dominant.
Yeah, and again, it's all about rapport. Who are you more comfortable with? San Francisco's defense is a little more diminished. They don't have the defensive backs as they used to. Seattle, they're middle of the pack. And Arizona, you could beat up on those teams, And again, the Rams defense is subpar a little bit, but again, creates more back and forth.
Yeah.
And let's not forget Kyren Williams. How could you ever forget him? Stud running back, and he's going to get you 12, 15 touchdowns. Easy. Goal line, they're going right to him. Studs all around, and you're with a great play caller in Sean McVay.
I like the fact that they also play in dome.
Yes, dome is very important. Mike and I always talk about precipitation, who plays more indoor games than the other, vice versa. But with the Rams, I mean, in your own division, you're playing at home, and you're playing, in places like Arizona, or you get to go to Detroit in the conference, New Orleans in the conference. All of these teams, more in the NFC, have domes, makes for high-scoring games.
Yeah. That was, I remember last year it was regarding Cooper Kupp. There was Cooper Kupp playing in a week 17 game against Arizona, and he had Kupp and Marvin Harrison Jr., and it was like, I was trying to figure out, who do I start? I have both guys going in the dome. Oh man, and of course, Mr. Kupp let me down.
Yeah.
Let me down, and that's why he's out. And now they got Devontae back in there. So, I mean, I think there's some big things going for the Rams. And
was that when Kupp got injured?
No, that was...
I think it was. He got injured in the second quarter.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Because I had him in another league. But yeah, go on.
Now, it's funny that you picked the Rams, because I picked a team that you would, I guess, say this is the reuniting of the 2021 Super Bowl. Huh? Right? I'm going to go Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow. Okay. Reunite. The rematch.
The rematch, exactly.
But they're both great offenses. I mean, and with shitty defenses. So, like, these teams, and their quarterbacks, they're not really, big on the run. They do not run at all. I mean, their FanDuel odds of running is 1.5 yards. So, these guys are throwing the balls load up on these skill positions. But tell me more about Cincinnati.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much like the same thought process, though, is that I like the fact that Joe Burrow is the captain. Mr. Joey B right there. Joe Burrow, if I have him at quarterback, knowing that defense is absolutely awful, Joe Burrow is going to be forced to throw the ball a lot this year, and the offense is going to be on the field a lot because the defense is going to be letting people score. So they're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to move the ball. They have a lot of offensive pieces. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown. These are guys that you can get in the first, second, third, fourth round. So you have multiple opportunities to snag a Bengal. In my mind, I'm walking out with at least one Cincinnati Bengals player. Doesn't matter which one. I like to stack opportunities. But just being in high-powered offenses, these are the guys that I'm looking for. Like, I'm looking for players or teams that have had the same cohesive unit, like not new players, not new offenses, not new systems. I want the same guys. And then, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they both just got paid. Happy campers. Joe Burrow, healthy right now. Chase Brown coming back healthy. I mean, what more could you ask for a team when it comes to the depth chart? I mean, they've literally given you every piece.
Great pass catchers, talent all around him. You got the two Chases, T. Higgins, and don't forget my boy Ishivas. But
and these are some.
He's clutch dude. Honestly, I'd play him over any Saints receiver. But we'll get to that.
He had the opportunities last year. I remember T. Higgins was out, and he had a couple good games. But that's my point, is that Joe Burrow, having him as your quarterback, you're bound to see production out of all of these players. And let's not forget, Mike Gesicki was even streamable. So you got even the tight end in that case. That was mainly when Higgins was out too, but that's my point. Somebody's going to get offense. There's going to be peace to be had. Cincinnati Bengals, watch out again this year. They're going to be dominant.
No, I love those two offenses. I mean, it just happens to be the rematch of 2022 Super Bowl. But again, two stud quarterbacks who I truly believe both will be in the Hall of Fame one day, and with good offenses.
Oh, big time. So what's the next thing here? I mean, okay, all right, that was I guess the biggest part for us is that we know what guys we like, but then there's players that we have to avoid. So what's your thoughts on some players that you will absolutely not draft under any circumstance?
I will not draft. Your boy. I hate to say it.
Oh, let's hear it.
Please, Len, get him out the tissues. Matthew Golden Jacket.
Oh,
I feel like maybe he will one day get a golden jacket, but not this year. And here's why. We're talking about 2025. For me, even though this was the first time since the Green Bay Packers have taken a wide receiver since the year 2002, Lord of the Rings just came out. Truly, great movie. 3.5 hours. My father still reminds me of it. Yeah, he was sleeping. I truly believe that Packers receivers in general cannot be trusted. Just Matthew Golden alone being the high pick, people are going to be on him. He's the new improved toy. But at the end of the day, the Green Bay offense with LaFleur is run first. They have a stud quarterback, don't get me wrong, and Jordan Love Island. But at the end of the day, it is Josh Jacobs all the way. And for me, even in the red zone, Tucker Kraft, unless they're losing, okay, Matthew Golden may come into play. And unless you're playing in a 14-man team league or 3 wide receiver, 2 flex, all that jazz, sure, of course he becomes an option. But if we're talking about classic PPR, 12-man, you got 9 starters, right now I am not feeling Matthew Golden. Again, you can't trust any Green Bay receiver to begin with. I think they were, bottom 5 in passing, especially scoring in the NFL. So for me, I can't trust that. I'm not here to throw darts at a board. I like short things, pal. Gordon Gekko, Wall Street.
And honestly, the wide receivers, just the pass catchers in general in Green Bay, there's so many mouths to feed. Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave comes back. So many random players that can catch the ball. And then even Marshawn Lloyd is back.
Yeah.
So the running back. So they might. And then they got Emmanuel Wilson.
Dude, it's too much going on. Like, they make probably a better NFL team, but for fantasy, I mean, other than Jordan Love or Josh Jacobs, I'm really not high on anyone because at any time it could be anyone scoring. And you don't want that uncertainty unless you have to play that uncertainty.
You know what? There's 3 teams, pass catchers, I don't want parts of, and that is the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, and the Green Bay Packers. All teams, they just have too many mouths to feed.
Yeah, it's not enough. And Green Bay sneakily has a great defense, so they're always in tight games.
Yeah.
So what is the urgency to throw? Even when they're down, and they were down against Philly in that playoff game, they were still trying to establish the run with Josh Jacobs. Again, they're a run-first team, and I want no part of it.
That's what sucks, man, about the pre-draft show we did, because we had our guys and all players that we wanted to go somewhere, and we basically said, hey, depending on where he goes, this is going to ruin everything.
And you actually said Green Bay, which it does make a lot of sense. They need a number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
But just the offense that they're in, they lean heavily on Josh Jacobs.
Big time. No, I think he'll be all right. But yeah, you're right. At that ADP, he's risky, man, and any Packers receiver is. So since you did that, I'm actually going to touch back on a guy that was one of your guys during pre-draft.
Wow.
So Mr. Colston Loveland, before anybody even knew who he was, Puma was like, this is my guy coming out of the draft. Lo and behold, the NFL thought he was also the best number 1
tight end.
Chicago basically thought he was the number 1 tight end as well.
On the depth chart.
So they drafted him with the 10th pick, Colston Loveland. The problem is that Colston Loveland got drafted to a team that already has a lot of pass catchers, and they have Cole Kmet as their number 1 tight end, who they just signed for an extension.
Right.
They also drafted Luther Burden. So you have Roma Dunze. You have, obviously, DJ Moore and DeAndre Swift. Colston Loveland, I see what people are trying to do. They're trying to make that late round pick, and hopefully they get lucky with a guy like Tyler Warren. You can't do that with Colston Loveland. There's way too many mouths to feed there.
You're going to have to hope injury happens.
Absolutely. And he might have a few blow-up games, but can you rely on him as your tight end 1?
No.
I don't think so.
As a bench filler, he will get drafted, don't get me wrong, because of the name value.
Definitely.
And Ben Johnson is there, and he even came out and said he's a future Sam Laporta, which I agree with, but not right now. And a lot of these picks that we're doing right now is about this season, 2025. Dynasty League, sign me up all day, Matthew Golden, Colston Loveland. But for this year and this year alone, restart or a keeper, I'm going to be a hard pass.
And honestly,
I agree with you.
If you have the opportunity to take Colston Loveland in, let's say, the 9th or 10th round, and you need a second tight end, I would avoid him. You can just take somebody like Mason Taylor in the 15th round and get the Jets.
Well, because the Jets are, it makes sense because the Jets are starving for a second pass catcher. You're not going to trust Alan Lazard or Xavier Gibson or Malachi Corley in that offense. The tight end, the young Mason Taylor, son of Jason Taylor, can fit that mold, and he was a stud at LSU. So I definitely put him in the trending up and Loveland in the trending down.
And that really has to do with just the fact that situation too, and ADP, like where are these guys being drafted? So knowing your market value, Colston Loveland, avoid him at all costs. I'm out on him. Now, who else you got?
Or is it? It's a trap.
Dude, that was one of my favorites. Another tight end segment. So go ahead. Who do you got next?
I got next a whole squad, and it's the New Orleans Saints wide receivers.
Oh, that's a
You
good
thought
one.
Green Bay was bad.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, I don't know what Tyler Shook is or will be, and behind him ain't very much either. I just revert back to that Thursday night game against Denver. It was like
brutal.
The Saints and Denver. It was probably the worst game I've ever seen, in a long time. So, for me, and they didn't get a proper person to replace Derek Carr, especially after him announcing his retirement. I truly cannot trust any of those wide receivers. You want to sell me on Chris Olave? Sure. But how can I entrust a wide receiver too when I don't even know who the quarterback is, Mike?
Yeah.
It's a rookie quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, this league will eat you up. And now you're telling me you're going to go start a rookie quarterback off the rip
Big
and
time.
in not a favorable quarterback draft, and a guy that was taken in the 3rd round, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I think New Orleans should have brought in a veteran as they knew Carr was out the door, because guys like, even for Kamara's sake, I mean, the only reason why Kamara is salvageable is because the scarcity at the position. Other than that, who the hell wants a part of the New Orleans Saints? They're disgusting.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm out on New Orleans Saints wide receivers as a whole. And that includes you, Chris Olave Garden. That's it. And I don't even want the breadstick either. I'm done.
That's good. Olave Garden. And it's a shame because the guy was a 2nd-round pick last year, and he's just fallen so far.
Now,
Quarterback makes a difference.
If they ship Olave to a Pittsburgh Steelers, I projected, or another great quarterback with a great quarterback, sure, no problem. But for right now, I'm out on him too. I'm even out on the Saints water boy.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And honestly, sometimes you can't buy the hype on these big names. And I hear it all the time. People chasing these big names that they want. Another guy that they're always chasing, Jaylen Waddle. Now, Jaylen Waddle, of course, young, talented player. Everybody loved him coming out of college. Went to Alabama. He's still only 26 years old. But let's take a look at some numbers. If you've had him on any fantasy team over the last couple of years, you will know that he is a boom or bust guy. Jaylen Waddle can either score you 30 points, but most of the time he's going to get you about 4 to 7 points. That's just how it is. And whenever you bench him is when those blow-up games happen. And that's just not a guy that I'm willing to chase. I'm not going to chase around a player just because they have a good name, or just because they're fast, or just because they had a great season 2 years ago. We all saw Miami Dolphins are not where they used to be. Mike McDaniels right now, he's in the hot seat. After last year's horrific performance where they finished 30th amongst pretty much all teams in terms of total offense, Jaylen Waddle was not explosive. And what happens if you lose Tua if you lose Tua again? If you lose Tua again, basically they have no quarterback. They got Zach Wilson. We saw what happened with him. We're Jets fans. I don't want to rely on that. And let me share some information with you. His overall points and targets have went down since his rookie year. From 2021 all the way to 2024, they have went down from 141 targets to 117 targets to 104 targets to last year only having 83 targets. What is happening? A guy like Jaylen Waddle with that much talent, that should be the opposite trend.
I'm going to give you a little pushback on this.
Oh! Sound the alarm.
Because we need it for content. But also, too.
Go ahead.
Okay, I've always been a Waddle fan.
Yeah. That's how he's going to be walking on the
also,
field.
too, I do have to bring the facts into this. Now, number one, Tua is healthy. Number two,
he was healthy. Also,
I have to go by what is now. The now is Tua is healthy, but also too, Jonnu Smith has departed. We have that target vacancy. Now, I love my boy Tyreek Hill. Can I trust Tyreek Hill? He just had wrist surgery. I don't know if he's going to be the same coming back. We all hope he is, but I know that Jaylen Waddle has done it before. You want to give me the numbers? Yes, numbers do not lie, and Mike is totally correct on this.
He's also injured all the time.
But also, too, I know that they played college ball together.
They played at Bama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know they have that rapport. I'm not saying him and Tyreek don't have that rapport. I'm just saying there's nothing like it. There's nothing like Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith if he didn't have an A.J. Brown. That's Tua's A.J. Brown, which is Tyreek Hill. But take an injured Tyreek Hill and Jonnu Smith has departed. Someone's got to catch the ball there, people. And let's face it, if we get this guy after the 7th round, he's a flyer anyway. So you know what? I kind of push back a little bit on that because I know Waddle could have a better season. And people like Mike are going to overlook him. And I'm going to take him. And I'm going to sit him on my bench. And when week 3, when he blows up against the Jets or something, in Miami.
And he'll be on your bench.
And he'll be on my bench. But you know what? I'm probably going to trade it to him because he's going to want him.
I mean,
So,
it's a great point. The vacated targets is an absolute great point.
It's some actually like opposite point of view. You know, again, we don't always like to agree on this show because there are people out there with different mindsets. But just to push back a little bit on his take of Jaylen Waddle, I truly feel there is some potential to Jaylen Waddle because of the rapport, because of the history, and let's face it, the AFC East sucks, dude. Like, I mean, you know, we just got rid of DJ Reed. I mean, someone's got to cover Jaylen Waddle, and it's not always going to be Sauce.
So let me tell you a couple guys Jaylen Waddle's going over.
He's a jet killer. I'm sorry, but he's a jet killer.
He is a jet killer. I want to name a couple of guys that Jaylen Waddle is being drafted around, and I want you to tell me if you would take them or not.
Let's do Would You Rather.
Yeah, who would you rather, Jaylen Waddle or Jameson Williams?
Williams.
Me too, great pick. Now, just so you know, Jaylen Waddle is ranked ahead of Jameson Williams. Another guy Jaylen Waddle is ranked ahead of, Xavier Worthy. Who would you rather have, Xavier Worthy or Jaylen Waddle?
Worthy, because of the Chiefs. All right, wait, okay. Well,
I mean,
this is a little bit of bias because he knew I would say these people.
And
but,
I guess,
okay. Give me a harder one. Give me a harder one.
I got a good one. Jaylen Waddle or Khalil Shakir?
Oh, Waddle.
Shakir over. You would take Waddle over Shakir.
Because, and here's why.
The boom potential.
The boom potential. Shakir is safe floor. I'm gonna get 10 points, right? I'm gonna get 10 points tonight. With Waddle, I'm sitting there Monday night. I could possibly get 50 points.
Yeah.
No. I'm being
go crazy.
No, but I'm being honest.
Say 30 points or something. But yeah, you're right. He has
that boom potential.
Ability, yeah.
You know, especially if they're playing the Jets Monday night. Forget about it. He's having 60 that day.
Yeah, it's possible.
Take him in FanDuel, 2 tutties.
So,
I'm making you money.
So that's basically where you draw the line. What about one more they're drafted right around the same time? Jaylen Waddle or Teteroa McMillan, rookie wide receiver of the Carolina Panthers. Because you don't know his potential yet. So who would you rather there?
Waddle.
I think at that juncture I'm gonna have to go with T-Mac.
I like T-Mac, and that goes to the Matthew Golden point. Dynasty, sign me up all day. I'll take him every day under the sun over Waddle. This year, I'm going Waddle.
There you have it. Jaylen Waddle, he's out.
Sold.
So the man over here, fucking Puma
with the 6 chips.
And now that Puma put the stigma on Jaylen Waddle, trust me, he's due for a breakout.
Oh,
draft him.
Week 1, he's going.
Wide receiver 1, top 12 wide receiver.
4 touchdowns.
No, but it's a great point. I mean, these are things that you kind of have to consider. Like, how do you feel about him? Me personally, I've been burned too many times with Jaylen Waddle, despite all these issues that he's had over the last couple of years. But
I always like to start off as there's a world if. You know, there's a world if he is healthy, he is a top 10 option. There is a world where he comes back to relevancy and becomes a wide receiver 1. There is a world, and we just have to cross that bridge. But you know, good points by both of us.
A lot of guys, man. There's a lot of guys to evaluate this year. The season's only gonna get it's coming closer. It's only gonna get a little bit harder to kind of figure out who you're honing in on because time is running out. So pay attention, listen to the news, follow training camp, see who you like, watch the preseason.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch.
I
think the best thing you can do is watch and the eye test. You know, we always say it. You go with your gut, but your eyes tell the story. Yeah. You know, your eyes could tell you if someone could play or not. Your eyes are going to tell you if Shedeur Sanders belongs in this league. Your eyes are going to tell you how the Green Bay Packers use Matthew Golden, Teteroa McMillan, Loveland, all these players. Trust your eyes.
For sure. You have to watch the games. But yeah, I guess that'll do it. Listen, we brought you some great players. You saw the guys we like. You saw the ones we don't like. You saw the ones we disagreed on. Take your pick. Drop some stuff in the comments. Let us know what you think about everything. Again, we are the Fantasy Wise Guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our page. Follow us on Instagram, Fantasy Wise Guys. You'll see a lot of this content on there coming up. We got more stuff happening. Mock draft before this. Yeah, man. Anything else? What do you got?
Nah, it's a good day. It's a good day to be me.
This guy. Listen, we'll see you soon.
Master your game.